How do you know when it's time to cut off family? Kelsey is writing in after her mother-in-law, Cheryl, publicly blasted her in the family group chat. She's now asking, okay, is now a time that I finally just cut her off, like for good, or do I just take a step back and see how that feels? So Kelsey is married to Jake. He is an only child. His parents are divorced, but both of them have remarried. Jake's dad, Steve, is married to Karen. They are phenomenal grandparents, very involved, wonderful people. They love them. Jake's mom, Cheryl, is married to Ron, and they are not involved grandparents. They are very difficult and a lot of drama on this side. So Kelsey learned this the hard way. Like when she first was, a young mom, she was really trying to include Cheryl on so many things, and Cheryl would make big plans with the kids and then cancel. I'm going to teach you how to garden. So Kelsey would get all the gardening materials, everything that they would need. Cheryl would cancel. We're going to have the best sleepover ever. Cancel the night of. So all these things kept falling through, and eventually Kelsey realized, okay, I can't force her to be a better grandma, but I at least can make sure she knows she's welcome at all their events. So through the years, her kids are they're very active in sports and school. On the first of every month, she sends out a grandparent text to all the grandparents, which there's a lot of them. So she sends out the schedule. This is where we'll be for this tournament, this science fair project. Basically just letting everybody know, come to any, all, none, no pressure, just wanting you to know you're always welcome. So some of the grandparents are very, very involved, show up to most things. Cheryl and Ron rarely come. When they do, they don't tell anyone they're coming. They just show up. And after the event is over, they expect to be entertained. So can you imagine if you have plans, you're expected to drop them and just entertain them, no matter what. One time they couldn't cancel plans with their friends, Kelsey and Jake, and they're like, oh, we actually can't entertain you. We're so sorry. And Ron had a fit right on the field. He's like, are you kidding me? You're so ungrateful. We traveled almost an hour here for what? This? And he gestured to the field as though watching their grandchild play wasn't enough, which obviously crushed Kelsey. I'm saying that for a couple things. I want you to remember they have this schedule, so they know the calendar and when they're busy, and also just to know the difficult personality they're up against, just that sense of entitlement. Now let's get to the family group chat. Because they're so busy and there's a lot of birthdays in this month, their son is turning 13. They want to have a family dinner, but also either on their son's birthday or right after their son's birthday, Jake's dad has a birthday. So they decided, okay, we're going to celebrate our son's birthday with a family dinner, and we'll just raise a glass and cheers to Steve as well. Basically Steve's an afterthought. It's basically our son. So she sends a text, Kelsey sends a text in the family group chat, letting them know when and where their son's 13th birthday is going to be. And P.S., we're going to cheers and raise a glass to Steve as well. Super simple like that. And instead of Cheryl, her mother-in-law, coming back and saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe our grandson is, 13. This is so wild. Where did the time go? She came back and said, what about my husband's birthday? And her husband's birthday is not on or the day after at all. So Jake right away got in the group text and was like, hey mom, if you want to plan something for your husband's birthday, we'll happily show up. We're just busy, so we can't plan his birthday party. Now, this is where Cheryl thinks she's talking directly to Kelsey, and she says, we're going to have Ron's birthday party on this day, show up or be there. So she doesn't ask. She just says, here's the date, be there. Ron's birthday party, here's the date. And she's like, oh no, we have a tournament that weekend. So she messaged, hey, I'm sorry. If you look back on the calendar, you'll see we have a tournament that weekend with this date or this date happened to work for Ron's birthday party. We want to go. And that's when she unleashed. Now, again, Cheryl thinks she's talking directly to Kelsey. She doesn't think Kelsey's parents. She doesn't think her ex-husband, Steve, or Steve's wife, Karen, can read all this. She just thinks she's talking to Kelsey. And she is, you're so selfish. You favor one grandparent over the other, on and on and on. And then she ends it with, well, good thing Ron will have a birthday next year, I guess, if he makes it that long. Just really trying to, be mean. And when Jake got off work, he read the messages, and he didn't miss a beat. He called his mom right away, and he wasn't playing nice anymore. He's like, Mom, you treated my wife horribly. You always assume we're free without asking us, and then you blow up when it doesn't work out. And worst of all, this is your grandson's big birthday, and you haven't once mentioned his name. And that's when his mom tried to lie and say, Are you kidding me? This is for him too. I said that. I said this is for so-and-so and Ron. And Jake is like, Mom, you sent all those messages to the group, the family group chat. You weren't just texting Kelsey. I read everything. So it was that moment that Kelsey decided, I'm done being the facilitator. Like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I've tried for years to play nice and be the buffer and make plans, and I'm just tired. So she gave it all to Jake, and Jake's like, yes, I will handle it all. I'll let him know when the tournaments are. You don't have to communicate with them. Take all the time you need. Well, now that she's taken a step back, Kelsey is just kind of, all the things are just bubbling up, all the canceled plans, all the heartbreak, holding the kids as they were growing up, just all the times her mother-in-law has tried to make her a better wife and a better mom because she's so critical. All of it is just hitting her so hard that she's wondering, I don't know if I can ever go back. Like, I don't ever want Cheryl and Ron in my house again. But she's torn because that would put stress on Jake and put stress on her kids. And she doesn't know what to do because she can't fathom the idea of them being in her house anymore because she's really just kind of sitting in all the feels. But she also doesn't want to stress her husband out. So she's asking us for some advice. Okay. Holy buckets, Kelsey, you've done a wonderful job, like trying to keep everyone involved. You've been a wonderful mother. I can only imagine like holding your kids when all those plans would be canceled one after another. And especially because she's making the plans directly with your kids. That would just be so heartbreaking as a parent. All that to be said, I would not make any big decisions in the heat of the moment. I would do exactly what you're doing. Take a step back. Let Jake handle everything. He's totally on board with that. He's so supportive. And then if you feel ready to join at a family dinner, whatever, make it outside of your home just to see how it feels. Go to a dinner somewhere, sit by Jake, make sure he's there to, be your little bodyguard or whatever. But that's what I would try. I would slow everything down, still take a break. It can be a few months, whatever you need. And when you're feeling like, okay, I feel like I can handle it, try a dinner at a public place, not in your like safe space as your house, and see how that feels. That's where I would start. And then if it still feels awful after a few months, after you've stepped back, he's handling all the interactions, you've seen them in a public spot, and you still are just like, ugh, then you have, a different decision to make. But I would start off very slow. And those are just my thoughts. What do you guys think?